the lettering and all that, how many letters and things like that. They all have little numbers that, like for instance, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then it goes 10, 20, 30, blah, 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 100, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, and each letter is assigned a number, and that's how they would calculate things. So a lot of these words were proven to be quote-unquote true because mathematically they were formulas, so they were sound. And some of the hidden mysteries, or I call them hidden mysteries, but they're just stuff that you got to search. And well, this is what I found was that when you start calculating things, you find a lot of interesting stuff, like the number 543 or 345, because a lot of things mirror. It's just that's the way it is. Not always, but a lot of them do. And there's shadow properties. I think that's what the mirror is, a shadow property. But I don't mean it in like anything other than just mirror. But yeah, so what I found was the 345 is Pythagoras. He had that the triangle with a 3 by 4 by 5. Now those are very important, and they go either way because it's just angles of a triangle. And what it gives you is, let's say, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Well, there's a thing called lowest common denominator. And the lowest common denominator is what you get when you divide things. And you try to get the smallest ratio. Like a ratio is like, how you figure out a percentage. Same thing, ratio. And 345 is like a very key number. So when you add 345 plus 543, you get 888, and that's another number assigned for, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Jesus. It's kind of funny because some of these things are lost in translation. Like, no disrespect, it's still a very interesting story, and I'm still learning. But for instance, the letter J is about 500 or 600 years old. So the English alphabet only had 25 letters prior to that. And then I thought, well, what's this number 26? And then you get into Yahweh or something, YHWH, I don't know, something like that, because there's no vowels. I pronounce it Yahweh because that's just the way I see it. It could be an algorithm, like you have water here, or like Bible is basic instruction before leaving Earth. But this things to remember things. But Yahweh, when you add the gematria, it adds to 26, and 26 is interesting because it's made out of 4 letters, the Yahweh, and the symbols, when you pile them on top of each other, they draw something that looks like a man. Which is kind of cool, just a little thing. How like other languages other than English, or they use symbols, and I found that a lot of the Hebrew writing very resembles angles within something, so I started putting these numbers together and crunching them down to lowest denominators and all that common denominators. And then you get these ratios, and like for instance, you have known Jesus Christ is a 3-4-5 ratio, so then you start wondering, well, what's it building? And I started doing the different math, and for a long time it took me because not only do you have to reach this information in your head, but you have to go through it in your heart too in order to just use it. And what happened was I started drawing it. It turned out to be a flower of life, and I was like, wow. And then I started doing more research, and you find out that these things are connected to zero. I don't know what it's called, but there's so much going on. Like connected with Fibonacci, connected with binary, connected with doubling. You know, like 1 plus 1, 2, 4, 8. You know, that's binary. But 1, 3, 5, 7, or 1, 3, 5, 8, 13. I don't know, something like that. But it goes on. That's Fibonacci, and they're connected. And it's amazing once you see the numbers and try to piece it together. It's entertaining, but I don't know if it's useful. I just find it helps you pull back from I guess a focus of fear or expectation, and it helps you to see something that only you can see because you're looking. But what I saw, like it started doing all amazing things, like just the calculations all too tied in, and then I started studying the number 19, and I found all this information about like you start going into the Quran, and you start doing the number thing because they have the same thing, like I said, with Gematria and Isophia, and then you learn more, and you're like, whoa, this thing is really interesting. And then the story becomes not so literal. It still is to an extent because you know that's your roots, but the higher up you go in the dimensions, you start seeing things beyond the self, beyond fear or expectation, and you just you become in tune with your higher self, and it's good, but it's not easy, and I don't know what to say. It's just it's cool. So anyway, I got to the number 19, and I thought, whoa, okay, this is where it ends, and then all of a sudden I entered the 20th, and something changed in me over the next couple months. Once I entered the 20th, it was just an amazing thing. Like, I started gaining access to more of my life, my memories, and like so many good things that were there the whole time. I just wasn't able to like visualize, hear it, see it, and just you know, be there when I'm thinking. And now I can to an extent, and it's very nice, and it's no longer any judgment, any fear, or anything like that. But there is something that that helps. Is just I always try to be true to myself, and once in a while I absorb some bad habits or negativity, but I usually correct myself before I make a mistake or go against the way I am. But I'm not perfect. I fuck up, and it's good to fuck up because sometimes life's biggest fuck-ups are the most rewarding accomplishments to overcome.
Human nature. I want to sing you an unknown song. It doesn't come natural to me. I don't know the words, and I cannot sing, but if you want, I will do anything. How long to get you to hear me singing my soul beyond control, to bring me back to life, to die again tonight, apart from you for just a second, lost forever to the times apart. Oh my heart, please come back to me, help me to see all I am for you to take, and give me a break, and break me in two. You, the flower of life, grows petals bright, to the heavens light it glows, it looks to find what it leaves behind, all its wants and woes. The wind of time, how sweet and mean, it takes away all my flowers seen, it rips the roots, it tears under boots, and a blanket of snow it lies under. Then in spring, a miraculous thing, the flower of life does show, that beyond all doubt, the times of drought, it will forever grow. Spring to life, and leave the past under the snow. I want to sing you an unknown song. It doesn't come natural to me. I am what I am, what I am, I am. What am I to do?
Welcome. So you do want to hear it? Okay, here it goes. I'll just hold it. Michael.
What?
I fought him in the past. I grew strong enough to last. I did not want to see. He showed me. He showed me. I fell into a hole. I gave up control. When I could no longer win, I took him in. I took him in. Michael saved me from my own hell, and I love him more than I can tell. Okay, I was requested to say a funny poem, and you know, I have every emotion, I thought, except humor, which is kind of funny. So I wrote one called The Cosmic Comic for you, and I'm David. What's your name?
Stacy.
Okay, Stacy. This is from me to you. Okay. The Cosmic Comic. You told me not to see. I looked. You told me not to taste. I took. You said I would be free. I believed. You said that I am me, and I could not see.
Timmy
suggested that God should appoint a committee of investigation to find out. And the committee did its work very thoroughly, but the case went against Satan because it was proved in the end that Job was an honorable man. Now you notice that although we pay the salary of the district attorney, whenever there's a great criminal case before the public eye, people begin to take the side of the underdog. And the prosecutor always has less public sympathy than the defense, except in political trials. On the right hand of God, and you know the defense is always on the right hand of the judge in court, is our only mediator and advocate, which is the phrase referring to Jesus Christ our Lord. So there is the defense and there is the prosecution. And it is the function of Satan to be the prosecutor. There is a good deal more to it than that, because before all this started, as in a stage play, there was an arrangement in the green room before coming on stage in which certain things were understood, but that are only to be revealed when the curtain goes down at the end of the play.
Show God too.
Yes, but he doesn't know it.
God, why do you hide from the sight of so many?
Why do you hide? It's for the same reason you're hiding.
God, did you create the
Yes.
God?
Who else?
Free will.
What?
Man, free will.
Man has free will to the extent that he knows who he is. Not otherwise.
Where did you get free will from?
Where I got it from.
Women have free will too?
Yes. To the extent that she knows who she is, yes.
If man has free will to know just what he is, and man is God, then you'd say that you are no more than any God in this room, or any man.
That is correct. I'm no more God than any of you.
Then you only have the power to know who you are.
Well, that is saying quite a bit, yes.
What is not God?
What is not God? There is nothing that is not God.
How do you learn who you are?
It's like waking up from a dream. After a while, one's experience begins to have what I would call a haven't we been here before feeling. Going round and round and round. And then you begin wondering, where am I going? And to answer that question, you have to try and find out what you want. And so I went into that very thoroughly. What do I want to happen? And, of course, as soon as you ask yourself that, you begin to fantasize. And our amazing technology is, of course, an expression of human desire for power, for what we want to achieve. So I simply set myself to thinking through how far we could go. And so I soon found myself at a great push-button place, where I had a fantastic mechanism with buttons available for every conceivable thing I could wish. So I spent quite a bit of time playing with those. And science fiction wasn't in it. You know, you go going like that, and here is Cleopatra. And so on, you know, and then press this button, symphonic music, in 4-channel sound, 16-channel sound, anything, you know, all possible pleasures are available. And when, you know, you're like everybody's dream of